Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome to episode number 2 of the Pick'em podcast. Yesterday was a very long video. I think it was like 36 minutes or something like that. Today's, I would say, was definitely going to be like under 10. I'm just going to basically run through the MLB and like the picks I kind of got on the early slate, and then also 2 quick women's tennis picks. And the reason for that is just because I found out about this guy on Twitter. His name is Dylan Leeper. I'll like show something on the screen right now of like a tweet. It was actually the other day where he was kind of talking about his record, where he basically just bets on like pretty evenly men's and women's tennis, and just tweets he finds all the ones like around like minus like 100 or like minus 120, minus 115 or something like that. And yeah, so he has a really good record. I've been betting basically I don't know anything about tennis, but I completely just tailed this guy and he's won me money. He wins 65% of the bets, as I said before. So today his 2 picks are, which I am going to take as my own picks as well, are in the women's tennis or for the U.S. Open. Simona Halep right here. She is minus 120 to win today versus Elena Rybakina. So yeah, I'm gonna take that at minus 120 as my first pick, and then literally the game later. So I wanted to release this video early so you guys can hop on as well. It's at 11 and noon today. So the other one is Victoria Azarenka. I actually have heard of this lady, like, so she must be pretty good, like, because I don't watch tennis, and she's minus 115. So I'm gonna have both of those as 2 of my picks, and then now we'll hop into the MLB. Okay, so we're just going to quickly run through the slate, do a little like research. I've already done the research, so maybe I won't do it for all. I'll just kind of tell you what I saw and stuff like that. But I do actually have 3 picks for the MLB and then 1 parlay. So I went 0 for 2 for the parlays yesterday. It sucks, but I like won like some parts of them. The Ohio State one just fucked me. Like I had Ohio State minus 1.5 at the half. They lost the half, but they ended up winning the second half by like a whole bunch. They scored I think like 30 something points in the second half. So that really sucks. But you know it happens. Whatever. It's a parlay. That's what parlays do. But so I'm gonna have 3 individual picks. We'll get down there as we go down. So right here we have Brault versus Alec Mills. I am not gonna bet on this game. I said it yesterday in the video. I don't bet on the Pirates or Cubs just because they're trash. Unless the Pirates or Cubs play like a good team, then I'll bet against on the other team, and then just try to fix it into like a parlay where another good team is going against a bad team, so I can kind of even odds. So the next game, Nestor Cortez versus John Means. So quickly, I actually have Nestor Cortez's. Let me see who the other person is. Nestor Cortez right here. So his stats. So his ERA plus, which is the first thing I look to. So he's 2-2, 2.77 on the with his ERA, and then his ERA plus is 152, which is like extremely good. Like usually over 130 is very good. He only has what 8 starts, so obviously like but his walks per and hits per innings pitch is 1.086, which is very very good. And then he has a 2.77 ERA, as I said earlier. So now let's look up Mean John Means for the Baltimore Orioles, who are obviously not a good team, but he is a very good pitcher in my opinion. I try to bet always on him when I can. So he's 5-6, 3.46, but his ERA plus 133, very good. Walks and hits per inning pitch is sub 1. 0.997, so that is extremely good, and he has like 20 starts, so he's shown it over time. Obviously 5-6, it's kind of like the Zach Wheeler, or like it's just a bad Phillies pitcher, like he just never gets run support, like Jacob DeGrom at the beginning of the season on the Mets. It just like it sucks. If he was on a better team, I do think he'd be really good. So my first pick for the day is actually going to be no run first inning in this game, so it's plus 110 right now. So I'm actually on the good side, minus 135. They really do think a run's going to be scored. I'm not worried about the Orioles scoring run. I think Nestor Cortez will be able to get through 3 outs, and because the Baltimore bats are just not very good. But then I think I think I'm ahead of Vegas in this one, and I think the Yankees will not score a run because Mean John Means will shut them down. So I'm going to take this as my first pick for the MLB. The Baltimore Orioles and Yankees, no run scored in the first inning. You can get that at plus 110 right now. All right, so the next game, and like I'm definitely gonna try to bet on the Yankees. Let me see if I have them. I do actually have them here. I'll just get to my second pick now. So I do think the Yankees are gonna like win this game. Just hopefully they just don't score a run in the first inning. That's kind of what I'm banking on. But I do think like let's see, where's the first 5 innings? Let's see, the first 3 innings you can go under 2.5 runs actually here. I kind of might bet on that as well. I'm not gonna make it one of my bets, but whatever. So I'm actually gonna choose here to win the first 5 innings. The Yankees. I do think they've completely turned it on since the All-Star break after just being like kind of embarrassing, and yeah, they're just absolutely mashing. So I'm going to take them, and I'm going to actually jump down pretty far here to another game I really like. So where is it? It's Shohei Ohtani versus Glenn Otto. Glenn Otto was on the Yankees, I believe, this season as like a reliever, and then he got traded to the Rangers, and the Rangers just aren't really that good, and the Angels are kind of like the Jekyll and Hyde team as well. I think they're like 62-62 or something like that. They're like right around 500. But with Shohei Ohtani, let's just look up the stats real quick. Ohtani. So he's 8-1. I know that because I looked it up earlier. This is his batting stats. Let's see his pitching stats. pitching. So you scroll down, 8-1 with a 3 ERA. 8-1's very good. So when he pitches, they usually win. So I mean, that's also taking into account. And his ERA plus 148, walks and innings pitches just above 1. So I really like him here. Actually, I don't really know much about Glenn Otto. He could actually absolutely fuck me, but I don't really like the Rangers at all. So I'm going to take the Angels minus 215 to win the first 5 innings, and the Yankees minus 220 to win the first 5 innings at a parlay. My only parlay of the day. Hopefully, I can go from 0-2 to 1-2. I hopefully this can start bringing it back, my parlays for me. But I'm going to lock that in as one of my picks, plus 113 on the parlay. So the next game we're looking at is just the Mets. Let me just get rid of this. The Mets versus the Nationals here. I don't really like either of these pitchers. I don't like either of these teams. Definitely going to just skip completely by that game. Alek Manoah versus Sean Manaea. This is like a pretty good pitching map. Manaea is like one of the worst. He's like pretty good as a pitcher, but he's actually like one of the worst starters on the Athletics. Like they're all actually pretty good, like Cole Irvin and what's the other guy's name? Chris Bassett and stuff like that. And then Alek Manoah has actually been very, very good. But I'm not really going to... This would be like kind of a game where I would look at to see no runs first inning. But because both of these teams have very good like batting, I'm just not really about it. And I don't really know who's going to win this game. Both of these teams kind of like lose games they're supposed to win and win games they're supposed to lose and stuff like that. They're both good teams. Hopefully I'll see them both in the playoffs. I'm not really sure about the standings if that'll work out. So here we have Kyle Gibson versus Jesus Luzardo. As I said, I'm a Phillies fan, and I think Kyle Gibson is 4-2 on the year as a pitcher. Or 4-2 on the Phillies. He was like 12-4 or 12-5 or something like that when he was on the Cubs or the Rangers. Sorry. Yeah. So I would definitely lean the first 5 innings here for the Phillies. Let's see what it is. It's minus 140. I'll probably make that bet myself, but I'm not going to make it one of my official picks. Actually, fuck it. I'm going to make it one of my official picks. Kyle Gibson. I'm going to take the Phillies. Yeah, I just added this right now because, minus 140 is not a bad price. So I'll take the Phillies minus 140, first 5 money line there. The next game is Michael Wacha versus Randy Dobnak. Neither of these pitchers are good. This is a game where you would just kind of like try to parlay the Rays with something else because I don't really think Dobnak has even worse stats than Wacha, and Wacha has not been good, or Wacha, I don't really know how to pronounce it. So if you could, I'm not going to make anything of it, but if you just wanted to try to parlay the Rays with like another good team here, you could do that. So Cal Quantrill versus Nathan Eovaldi. I did actually make this bet myself, but I had no runs first inning because also both of these pitchers are pretty good. Eovaldi might be the best starter, except for Chris Sale now on the Red Sox, and then Zach Plesac and I actually won my pick yesterday with the Indians. I said it. I do like the Indians. When they have like 3 pretty good pitchers, and Cal is one of them. So like this would be like a no-run first inning kind of game. I don't really know who's gonna. The Red Sox have just not been good recently to trust, so I'm just gonna completely skip this game. But if I was gonna lean, I'd lean towards something with like an under 9 runs or something like that. Like I hope. I mean, the only bad part about going under 9 is if the Red Sox just score 11 by themselves, which they sometimes just do. Next game, Tyler Alexander versus Vlad Gutierrez. Gutierrez is actually the better pitcher here. Alexander's pretty good. He's like above average. But I mean, if I was going to lean here, I'd take the Reds. But the Reds have not been really good in the past like 6 games or so. I think they lost like 2 to the Cardinals and like 2 to the Marlins or something. So the last 2 series for them have not. That just changed right there. But the last 2 series for them have not been good. But I mean, this is another game where I would just take like the Reds and just try to parlay them maybe with something else. The Tigers are also, I think, like the second or third best team at like covering the spread or like making money back if you bet on them because they're such big underdogs usually. Like plus 155, they could easily win this game. I don't really know. Keuchel versus Bubik for the White Sox versus the Royals here. I mean, let's see Bubik's stats. Actually, I didn't look it up. This will be one where I actually look up the stats live because I did definitely. I looked them up before. So 5.18 ERA, not very good. 88 ERA plus, 1.5 walks per inning pitch. So Bubik's pretty bad, and then Keuchel, I think, is kind of just like he's on some games and off some games. 8.7, 5 ERA, that's awful. His ERA plus 85, yeah. So this is a game I'm definitely just staying away from. Obviously, if you just want to bet the White Sox just because they're the better team, then you can do that, but I'm not going to. And this is going to be my second to last pick. So Adam Wainwright versus Freddie Peralta for the Cardinals and the Brewers. This one I'm also going to take no run first inning. Yesterday in the video, I said I do not like these picks anymore just because they haven't been going my way, but fuck it, I'm going to keep making them, and I'm just going to put my reputation on it. So I'm going to go no run first innings here, minus 125 in the Cardinals-Brewers game. I really like Peralta and how did I already forget who the pitcher was? Wainwright I usually always bet on him for the Cardinals. He has been very good, and Freddie Peralta has actually been. I'll look it up a quick little guy real quick. Adam Wainwright. So he's 13-7, under sub 3 ERA plus of 130. So 130 is like what I said is like I think like an almost elite pitcher, and then the other one is Freddie. Oh, I just typed in Freddie Peralta. that the wrong one? Oh, this is the right one. Okay. 9-3, 2.45 ERA, 170 ERA plus, and a sub one walks per inning pitch. I didn't see what Wainwright's was. Walks per inning. It's like just about one. So this one I really like as well. -125. Lock it in for me as one of my picks. Yesterday, this is also as well as the Indians first five money line. I had the Braves first five money line, so I'm also going to take that again today. That's going to be my final pick of the day. So that is -145. Yesterday, I think it was like -140. So I'm just going to do it again. I think the Braves are just a better team, even though the Rockies are at home and they are way better at home. I'm still going to do it. I'm going to actually look at the stats. I don't think I looked it up. Actually, before I made the bet, I was just like, fuck it. So 4.4-4 with a 2.9 ERA, 152 ERA place, and exactly a 1 walks and hits per innings pitch. So, and Antonio Senzatella, he is 3-9, awful record, pretty okay ERA at a 4.18 though. And then his ERA plus over 100, which means he's above average at pitching. And then the walks and hits per innings pitch is pretty high. So yeah, I'm definitely going to take the -145, the Braves here, first five money line as one of my picks. And then let's just run through these last games. I already said I love Ohtani, and I don't really know a lot about Otto, so I put that on the parlay with the Yanks, as we talked about earlier. Tyler Anderson versus Bumgarner. Bumgarner's kind of like, he's okay. When sometimes Mariners are just this entire like game right here, I know nothing about. Like they're just either team can either win a game by huge or lose a game. It doesn't really matter. And I don't think either of these pitchers have been great. They have shown flashes though that are good some games, but I'm just not taking them. David Price versus Anthony DeSclafani. This is the one where like I want to bet as the hopefully the Giants can get like +5, +0.5 for the first 5 innings, but yeah, like it's just about even. Like I would take it if I was given half a run on the spread, but I'm gonna just stay away and just watch this game and actually enjoy it at 9:45. I'm sure it's gonna be on TV on like the MLB Network or whatever, so fuck it, I'll just watch it. And I don't really like David Price. He usually only pitches like 4 or 5 innings, and then DeSclafani has been good. He's been the better pitcher of these two, but both of these, like the Giants have not been hitting as well recently, and the Dodgers have been absolutely mashing recently. So I'm just gonna stay away, but that is gonna be a good game. And then Jose Urquidy versus Jake Arrieta. Arrieta's been an awful pitcher, and Urquidy has I haven't seen his name in a while, so I'm gonna assume he was like injured for a little bit because I remember him at the beginning of the season. He has pretty good stats. I did check it out, and Arrieta has awful stats. So this would be one where like if you want to take the Astros, you can. Let's see what their first five money line would have been if I do take them. So -160. So it's just outside of my threshold of -150. This would also be a game maybe you want to put them to win the first 5 and the Phillies to win the first 5. It's like a -140 and a -160, and then just kind of like pair it and put like a small unit on it, just because like who knows, who fucking knows. But that is going to be all my picks for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like rating, and yeah, just stay tuned for episode 3. Obviously, I made this video one day after I made the first episode, just because I saw some like 6 or 7 picks that I like. So whatever. Sometimes that's going to happen. Sometimes I might not make an episode for like 2 or 3 days in a row. But thank you guys for watching, and have a good day and goodbye.